Hello, everybody. So back again to our class on we have discussed about inertial frames and non-inertial frames. That is, the frames of reference is the name of our chapter, and we have discussed the inertial frames and non-inertial frames. And in this class, we are going to discuss the Galilean transformation equation. Suppose we are having for describing before that beforehand for describing any sort of motion we need a frame of reference. Okay, and there are two types of frames of reference, that is inertial and non-inertial frames of reference. Everything that we have discussed in the last class, you just go through last class. Okay, and suppose we are having a physical phenomena or event is observed from two separate reference frames. Naturally, we'll have two sets of coordinates corresponding to their frame of reference. Suppose I can see a ball which is thrown by a boy, and I can observe the motion of the ball from the ground, or I can observe the motion as if I'm standing on the ball, or I can observe the motion while flying through an aeroplane in the air in a different ways, or from choosing different frames of reference. I can observe any sort of motion. So normally in each frame of reference there will be a set of coordinates describing the motion. So next question is, what does this transformation means? We are discussing Galilean transformation. So what is this transformation? Why we are using the term transformation here? The answer is here, right? This transformation equations are the equations relating the two sets of coordinates describing a single event in two frames of reference. If you are observing the motion of the ball by standing on the surface of the earth, I'll get a set of coordinates. If I'm observing the same motion as if I'm I'm an ant sitting on the ball which is moving, then I'll have another set of coordinates. If there is some sort of equations relating this two set of coordinates that is used for describing the same event by observing this event in two frames of reference is called this transformation equations. And if these two frames are inertial frames, and inertial frames are the frames where the Newton's laws of physics are valid, then the transformation is called as Galilean transformation equation. That is, the transformation equations for the inertial frames are known as Galilean transformation equation. So transformation equation is the equation connecting two set of coordinates describing an event from two frames of reference. And if this two frames are inertial, the transformation equation is called Galilean transformation equation. And a physical phenomena, that is if the position and time of occurrence of a physical phenomena is taken together, then it is called an event. You just note in mind if both the position and time of occurrence of a particular physical phenomena is represented by called as event. And basically there are three Galilean transformation equations. And first one is Galilean coordinate transformation. Second one is Galilean velocity transformation. And third one is Galilean acceleration transformation. So Galilean coordinate transformation. From the name itself, it is understood the difference. We can understand the difference between coordinate, velocity and acceleration. Rate of change of time derivative of coordinate is velocity. Again, time derivative of velocity is acceleration. So first we know the coordinate transformation. It is easy to get the velocity and acceleration transformation. And suppose we are having two frames of reference. I have told the relation equation connecting the two frames of reference describing an event is known as transformation equation. So I need two frames of reference. That is mandatory. So The chosen frames of reference are S and S prime. Here it is mentioned as S and here it is mentioned as S prime. So normally in the frame of reference S, the coordinates are X, Y and Z, and in the S prime frame of reference, the coordinates are X prime, Y prime and Z prime, and the time in S frame is T, and in the time in the S prime frame is T prime. And now we are observing the event at a point P. So if you are observing the event at a point P from the S frame, the coordinates will be X, Y, Z and T. And if you are observing the same event from the S prime frame, the coordinate will be X prime, Y prime, Z prime and T prime. And when time T is equal to T prime is equal to 0, we assume that the two coordinates coincide. That is O is equal to O prime. At T is equal to T prime is equal to 0. And later on, after some time, what happens? S prime will be moving with a uniform velocity along positive x direction. It is shown. The direction is along positive direction. The S prime frame is moving. We are just taking an ideal situation where S prime is moving with a uniform velocity V from S frame along the positive x direction. So what happens? The coordinates for the event in S frame is X, Y, Z, T, and in X prime frame is X prime, Y prime, Z prime and T prime. Okay. So the distance travelled by the S prime frame with respect to S will be what? Since it is moving with the velocity V, it will be normally, if we are looking from here, it will be normally the distance travelled B will be V into T. And this movement is along positive x direction. So normally what I'll get? And here, this is the distance, total distance travelled along x direction. That is the, suppose I am observing the event here. So normally the distance of the event, that is the distance along the positive x direction. That is the event from the S prime frame is X prime and from the S frame is X. And normally the distance between the two frames is what? Vt. So by looking at this equation itself or looking at this figure itself, I can say that is X is equal to, X is the distance from the origin of the S coordinate system to the point where the event is taking place, that is the point P. So normally I can write X is equal to Vt, this distance plus X prime, that is X is equal to Vt plus X prime. So from that I can get X prime is equal to X minus Vt. And here, since there is no motion along Y and Z direction, I can simply write the transformation equation from the S prime frame to S frame as Y prime is equal to Y and Z prime is equal to Z, since there is no motion along Y and Z direction and the time in both the frames will be same, that is T prime is equal to T. And we are, as we are dealing with the classical idea, like an event occur simultaneously for two observers. So these equations 1, 2, 3, 4 are known as Galilean coordinate transformation equation. And this transformation equation, it is very simple. X prime is equal to X minus Vt. That is the transformation equation from the S prime frame. X prime represents the S prime frame and X represents the S frame. That is all. And this transformation equation allows us to go from one inertial frame S to another inertial frame S prime. If you substitute this transformation of coordinate into Newton's law, we can see that the law of Newton are of the same form in the two frames. But if we try the laws of motions will be having the same form in these two frames of reference, that is in Newtonian motion. That is why it is called inertial frame. And we are discussing about inertial frame since it is Galilean transformation equation. And if you're trying to make a change in the Maxwell's equation is related to this electromagnetism and all, electrodynamics and all. What happens? It fails here. So, does not give, Galilean transformation does not satisfy the relatives, postulates of relativity and all that. We'll discuss soon after. You just need to know here is x prime is equal to x minus vt, y prime is equal to y, z prime is equal to z. And this suits well with this Newton's laws of physics, will be valid in both the frames since both the frames are inertial frames. And now we are going to Galilean velocity transformation. Normally, what is velocity? Time derivative of coordinate. So simply I can take dx prime by dt prime is equal to dx by dt minus v into d by dt prime. What I'll be getting? T prime is equal to t. Okay, that you know. It is v dt. So what you'll be getting is dx prime by dt prime. Here a substitution is made, that is dx prime by dt prime is ux prime, that is x component of velocity measured with respect to s prime frame, and you just need to just put this parameters and all in mind, that is u, wherever you put u, just remember wherever you put v. Since the motion is along x direction, I am writing it as ux prime and the notation is u, that's all I have to remember, and dx by dt means ux. So making the substitution, dx prime by dt prime is ux prime and dx by dt is ux, and here dt by dt will be time get cancelled since t prime is equal to t, and what is left will be v. So here it will be what? uv prime is equal to uv and uz prime is equal to uz. Okay, and these equations 5, 6, 7 are known as the Galilean velocity transformation equations, and they are also known as classical velocity addition theorem or Galilean law of addition of velocities. Or clearly in more general form, how can I write? Removing the superscript, I mean subscript of x here, u prime is equal to u minus v. I can write it like this way. Vector u prime is equal to u minus v in a more general form. In which velocity we is having components along all the three axes. And here we have assumed a constrained case where the motion is along x direction only. But in a realistic case, it may not be true. It will be along a particular direction making an angle theta with x or y or z direction. So it will be having components along both x, y and z directions. So in a most general form, I can remove the subscript and write u prime is equal to u minus v. And as an example here, it is assumed that suppose we are assuming the motion of an aeroplane, and the velocity of an aeroplane with respect to air is velocity of plane with respect to air, VPA. And velocity of plane with the ground is represented as VPG. And velocity of air with respect to ground is represented as VAG. So velocity of plane with respect to ground means it is the summation of velocity. Plane is traveling in air and air is everywhere, and normally I can represent or just assume the motion of air with respect to ground. So velocity of plane with respect to ground is sum of velocity of plane moving in air and velocity of air with respect to ground. So I can write velocity of plane with respect to air is velocity of plane with respect to ground minus velocity of air with respect to ground. Now another form, two forms are written here. See the same subscript symbol fusing to get the result. Okay, the same thing is happening. If we are applying this Galilean velocity transformation equation to particles which are very fastly moving, means it is having a velocity which is comparable to the velocity of light, what happens? And substituting it here, ux prime is c prime and ux is c, what happens? C prime is equal to c minus b. Things all get disturbed. Velocity remains. This equation shows that velocity of light is different for different inertial frames. It is not true. It is contrary to the experimentally observed fact that velocity of light is same for all inertial frames. So that it violates the second postulate of relativity. That is something that we are going to discuss in the chapter on relativity, how this Galilean transformation doesn't suit with this postulates of relativity. So here what you have to think, keep in your mind is what? Ux prime is equal to ux minus v, uy prime is equal to uy, and uz prime is equal to uz. And moving on to Galilean acceleration transformation. What happens? We are taking the derivative of this again. What you will get? Since the velocity is uniform, derivative of velocity does not change with time. What happens? The derivative of this velocity can cancel. So normally, what you will be getting? Ax prime is equal to ax since velocity is constant, and ay prime is equal to ay, and az prime is equal to az. It shows that both the frames measure the same acceleration. So according to Galilean transformation, acceleration of the particle is same for all. If we are, since we are assuming an inertial frame, which is a non-accelerating frame, usually Galilean transformation, inertial frames are non-accelerating frames. And Galilean transformation means we discuss the motion in inertial frames. So normally acceleration will be what? Acceleration of particle is same for all observers in relative motion. Acceleration remains invariant under Galilean transformation. That is, if we are moving from one inertial frame to another inertial frame, that is an inertial frame which is at rest to another inertial frame which is in uniform motion, acceleration is Galilean invariant physical quantity. You just keep in mind this comments and all, Galilean invariant physical quantity. And sometimes a question may be asked for the exam like acceleration is a Galilean invariant physical quantity. Comment. You'll have to comment about it. You'll have to just describe why acceleration is called a Galilean invariant quantity. That is, acceleration remains the same in all inertial frames moving, which is either at rest or in uniform relative motion with respect to each other. Okay. In general, the physical quantities which remains invariant under Galilean transformation equations are called Galilean invariant quantities, and acceleration is a Galilean invariant physical quantity. So hope you have understood Galilean coordinate transformation. X prime is equal to x minus vt. Others are same. And Galilean velocity transformation. Ux prime is equal to ux minus v. And Galilean acceleration transformation, ax prime is equal to ax, ay prime is equal to ay, and az prime is equal to